Hello, boring vlogs people. How are you this fine day? Me? Well, I am fantastic. Just grabbed some lunch from a local sandwich place down here in San Diego called Poor Boy, which, they don't have up in Burbank. And so it's one of the places that I like to go while I am down here. Ooh, gosh. Yeah, one of the places is like, I also like to go to the Pancake House, and I would like to go to Wings and Things one of these days. Even though I enjoyed going there, and I always say that I want it, I never actually end up going there. I never get around to it. Mostly because it's either like my parents are making dinner, or I'm down here for a special occasion, so it's like we're going to do something for dinner or something, so I never get a chance to go. So I haven't actually been there since I've left. But, I liked the place. I went there a good amount while I was down here. But I haven't gone back yet. But whatever. And then, I just left the post office, dropping off a letter to send to someone, because that's what you do with letters. And I was reading an article today on Gizmodo about how Apple winning the lawsuit against Samsung is a good thing for mobile phones. And when I first read that, I was like, what? How is this a good thing? Like, you're saying that the fact that companies can't make phones that are as good as the iPhone or like the iPhone is a good thing. And but then as I read the article, it started making sense. They were saying that now that companies can't have the mindset of, oh, let's just copy the iPhone, they're going to have to innovate and make something that's better than the iPhone. Because, what's the point of making something that's worse? Like, why would you waste your time making something that isn't as good as the iPhone? I'm sure, because, that's what everybody compares every phone to these days. Is it as good as the iPhone? Does it do this as good as the iPhone? It's an iPhone competitor. That's like the mecca of smartphones is the iPhone, and everything is compared to that. But now that, people see that Samsung tried to copy Apple and they got in all this trouble, they're going to realize that to beat Apple, they're going to have to make the next iPhone. They're going to have to make the next phone that everybody compares every other phone to. And they're just not going to have any option. If they want to compete with the iPhone, they're going to have to beat it. And so, that'll be a cool thing to see phones. Like most phones that come out, you're like, oh, okay, this has its pros and cons just as the iPhone has its pros and cons. And if you prefer what this Samsung Galaxy phone does compared to the iPhone, then yes, it's better for you in that sense. But like to have a new phone that will be like the best phone out there, that'll just be awesome. And even though I am a fan of Apple, I have Mac computers, and I plan probably most likely to get the iPhone 5 when it comes out, because it looks like it'll have features that I am looking for in a iPhone, which are 4G, and that's about it. Just because I get 4G and I'm paying for 4G up in Burbank, so I figure why bother getting one that doesn't have that? And it's so close to when they're releasing the next one that I figured why not wait? Because I was eligible for an upgrade in February, but I'm just holding off until they release the new iPhone, because I really like the iPhone, and I would have gotten the iPhone 4S if it was going to be a while before the next one came out. But considering, this phone works just fine, I figured I'd be able to wait. Wow, this person is driving like an idiot. But yeah, so that'll be cool to have some new phone that'll be at the top of its game and be the best in the new thing that everybody compares stuff to. Because the iPhone has been good for a while. Let's if Apple can stay on top of it and stay in the lead, then awesome. But if not, that's fine. Somebody else can step in and have the best phone. It doesn't need to be Apple necessarily. Or, not necessarily the best phone, but just what everybody else compares phones to. I'm not trying to say that the iPhone is the best phone. It isn't necessarily, but, it's just the one that everybody compares everything to. But, yeah, And I also read an article saying that a doctor, just one doctor, has decided that energy drinks are good for people. Even though I know I've heard many times, oh, energy drinks, they're bad for you, they're all of the sugar and calories, and not necessarily calories, but caffeine and all this stuff that, and making you more energetic. How could that possibly be good for you necessarily? But apparently this doctor did tests on people's heart rate and blood pressure and all this stuff, and said that their ventricles or whatever were like constricted, which I guess is a good thing or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I read it a little while ago, so I don't remember word for word. But moral of the story is, he said that energy drinks were good for people. He tested it on people ages 20-something to 30-something, and said that his findings said that showed good things. But who knows? I'm sure that it will take more than the tests of one doctor to tell for sure whether or not they're bad for you. But, I stay away from them anyway, just because I'm naturally energetic. Woohoo! See how much energy I had? Wow, energetic. No. But yeah, so those are some pretty cool tech articles that I read. And then, the sad news that happened a little while ago of Neil Armstrong passing. Which, is an unfortunate situation considering how, ingrained in our culture he has become. Like, when you think of space travel, that's who you think of. You think of Neil Armstrong. The first man to set foot on the moon. And, that was one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. And it really was. So many people look to him as it's such an inspiration, and so many. Space travel is a cool thought for a lot of people, and I think it's gonna lead to a lot of people that want to go do stuff like that, and that's awesome. And we've got the Mars Curiosity rover that just landed on Mars, and we got a freaking robot that we sent all the way to Mars that's sending back pictures and video and stuff. That's crazy. And, space travel is just so interesting. And I was watching some videos today just about how massive space is, and mass in space, and all this crazy stuff. And space is just insane. But it is so awesome to think about the hugeness of it, and how insignificant we are in all of space. We are so tiny, and oh god, it's so cool. To think about what else could be out there. But hopefully what's out there is not what is in the show Falling Skies, which I just started watching, which is about aliens that come to Earth and, pretty much enslave humanity. They kill anybody that's armed forces, any soldiers that could stand against them, and then they kill all the adults they find, and then they take children and put these little aliens on the back of them so that they control their minds and stuff. And I watched the pilot episode of it last night, and it was okay. Frankly, I found the acting and the dialogue to be kind of dumb. I'll probably give it a few more episodes before I make my final decision and decide if I want to keep watching it or not. But my older brother was telling me last night, and has told me other times, that he likes that show. So I figured I would give it a try. So I watched the hour and 20-minute pilot, because it was pretty much two 40-minute episodes in one. And it was okay. The effects were alright, the aliens and stuff. But I was a bit underwhelmed by it in general. But, like I said, I'll give it a few more episodes before I make my final decision. But yeah, that's about it, I guess. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And yeah, so long. Bye-bye.